starting to recognize it is part of a much larger war.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Black Ops 4 Zombies feature review. Now you might be like, what's a feature review? Well, I'm going to take everything that's like in the menus, the armory, the mutators, the creator class system, and the actual modes themselves. Basically everything which isn't what's in the map and things like that and how the map plays. Because I feel like if I do every individual map, I could be speaking about every map for 30 minutes. And we'll be here for 2 hours. So instead of doing that, I just thought we'll take everything from a overall point of view. Do you know what affects the actual game when you're playing it, the game mechanics, things like that. On top of that, I also would like to say that we won't be going too much in depth with every single feature. Because again, I could talk for a good 30 minutes about some of these features. For example, the perks, I could break down every perk, what's good and bad about them, where it breaks the balance. And again, that'll take 30 minutes. So I'm trying to condense all this down so that it's not too long of a video. Because you can talk about every individual item for ages, pretty much. I could talk about the camo grind for a good hour. I could talk about the hard gauntlets for a good hour. I did have a 10-minute review on the hard gauntlets, kind of. The unsinkable hard. So if you want to go see that, then you can. Click the eye in the top right. Let's get straight into this. I'm going to start off with the armory. Now, one of the biggest things about this armory over Black Ops III's armory is that it continues World War II's tradition of adding new DLC weapons. So for a casual player, you can go into the game, get this new weapon, use it as well. You don't need to get it out of reserves, and you can actually pack a punch it and you can go, oh, this weapon's really good, you know, it's a new experience. People in World War II used to load into the maps all the time, get the new DLC weapons and try it out. Same with IW. And with this sort of thing is that really helps some sort of replayability in casual play, not a lot but quite a bit. And the biggest thing though is that in competitive play it's kind of bad. If you're a person who's going for records or you're competing in an esports event such as ZWC, you've got too many weapons now in this box where, hey, if I need the Cillian Salvo to, you know, beat this record and essentially become a world record holder, you pretty much are going to keep getting less and less chance every time new weapons get added. Now that could be countered for if the mutators, which is my next thing I'm talking about, added a loot weapon off button. And what I mean by that is it turns off all DLC weapons. So it's just exactly like you're playing day one. But I don't know why they haven't added it. Because if you think over time, we're going to keep getting 6 new DLC weapons every 35 days. That's just going to completely overrun the box and just make it an RNG fest, where it'd be more worthwhile to just use the war weapons. Another bad thing about the mutators is that there's no set mutator code, and what I mean by that is, let's say I set up a mutators, I've got to communicate to person B that, hey, this is the mutators I'm using, so yes to assault rifles on, no to SMGs, no to tactical rifles, things like that. Whereas if I had a code, I could just say, oh yeah, the code is AAZXY, and they've got exactly my setup. You know, it's a lot easier if I did that, and I feel like that's a big thing missing. But there's some good for mutators. Of course, that allows esports to be easily more managed. There's more challenges you can do in an esports sort of fashion. For example, I can balance the power-up rates and what power-ups can spawn. I can also turn off weapons, you know, which are overpowered. I could ban weapon classes so far, so even adding the weapons individually would be nice. So there's a good balance with mutators. There's quite a lot of good, and there's some things which need improving on, which I hope Treyarch do actually still support mutators, bring them to their next games, and so on and so forth. Now, perks are good because it adds more perk variety than any other game. I can't remember how many perks are in the game, but all I know is that for certain there's more perks in Black Ops 4 than any other Call of Duty Zombies game. But the bad thing about the perk system is that it disallows mid-match adaptions. What I mean by that is sometimes I set up for the map overall as if I'm not getting the Kraken. But let's say I'm looking to spin the box and get the Kraken. Well, overall I need to change my perk setup. There's some perks which aren't useful on the Kraken, but it's good for other guns on the map. Which, for example, biggest example, I'm going to use Buried from Black Ops 2. Is that you wouldn't put double tap on the paralyzer, for example. You wouldn't use speed code of the paralyzer and things like that. So there's a few things which would be good for some weapons but bad for others. And that's kind of the adaptions which get, taken away from the perk system. It's good for esports because it means that there's more skill differential. You can... If I'm someone who always runs low on ammo, I shoot quite a lot. I can pull myself back up with this Bandolier Bandit and things like that. Now, another key thing in the create class menu is specialists. I feel like that was bad to have people sign with specialists. Now, because what you're doing is you're removing them from a game quest to having it straight away. And the problem with that is you're adding a really fun side Easter egg quest, which could be in the map, to allow people to have something OP straight away. People always use it when they get surrounded, so that's like a free down. And it's just like, that kind of can't be a thing, because now you're just giving them a free save essentially, which they didn't earn. For example, all the time you could save yourself with some specialists in Black Ops 3 zombies, whereas in Black Ops 4, that specialist you just have it, so you just earn a free down essentially if you have it fully charged. Now, I want you to imagine that if in God Crow you started with a gauntlet with the dragon, instead of earning it, do you think you'd have as much fun with it if you just started with it every game instead of earned it? And that's kind of the point I'm trying to get across here. Imagining Blood of the Dead, you earned a specialist, maybe the Ragnaroks. Of course, the problem with Ragnaroks and the Death Machine and things like that is that we've already seen them before. So people might not be too excited if you got them specialists by earning them. But it'd be good to have a new specialist if they can do that, where you earn it. Of course, there's good from it, because if you start with it, it caters to players who always used to say that these quests just take too long to do sometimes. So I just want to earn them. It's not earn them, I just want to have them, essentially. And that kind of caters to them, but I also feel like that takes away personality from the actual game itself. I will give huge props to Dead of the Night, though, because they have some cool little weapons which you can earn, and you have to do a quest for them. You don't just start them. They're not overpowered. They're not specialist kind of good, but it's still a cool thing where you can earn these weapons not from a box. You have to do the side quest, and that's a huge props to Dead of the Night for that. Another career class thing is talismans. Now, talismans we won't talk too much about. Some people really think they're overpowered. In my personal book, they don't really mean anything. It's just a little niche thing which kind of helps you. They're not overpowered. It makes a few things a little easier, but not too easy. It's just a little addition to the MTX system, which I don't really care about. Of course, shield purchases cost less, but it don't even cost that much less anyway. Because the only time you're going to get affected with things like that is in the higher rounds, where points don't really mean a thing. Having an additional ray fire don't mean anything, things like that. Literally none of it means anything for me, the talismans. But when we get into the elixirs, before the latest update with perkaholics and all that, they were really balanced. which the balancing is really good for competitive play when we do esports events and things like that. But the bad thing is that the casual audience who wants all these cool little niche things, such as power vacuum and things like that, you know, the really cool gobblegums out in Black Ops 3, they're not getting them. So when you take them cool things away, that's kind of a thing to go, for casual players to go, that, okay, there's no fun with these. It's just all balanced, you know, there's no cool from them. Why am I using them? No point to use them, essentially. Because I'll say this for certain, I'm someone who pretty much only uses classic elixirs, and unless it's like an Easter egg hunt, there's no other point, because there's no enjoyment from them. Even percolic, when they added percolic, I'm getting no enjoyment out of it, because I feel like the perks are a bit too balanced in my book, to where I don't really care about them as much. But the contracts, which is a new feature which got added recently, is really a godsend to me. I've been playing zombies a lot more since these contracts got added, but it only adds replayability for the grinding players. I don't think it adds replayability to the casual players. It'll add a replayability to multiplayer players though, and the blackout players, because they're trying to get these reserves as much as they can in a short space of time. Which they might hop onto zombies and do some of them little easy ones. Do you know, really easy ones. You know, if you're not a full zombies player, you can't do them essentially. But if you are a zombies player, all these challenges are super easy. Get 200 kills with a wonder weapon, really easy. Get 15 mini boss kills. Well, we all know if you're a zombies player, you can get 6 Brutuses in the first 5 rounds. You can get the one from crossing the bridge. You can get one from round 6. You can get one from the power. You can get one from Pack-a-Punch. And you can get one for building the Magma Gap. Which you can all do by about round 6. So we just do round 6. Do all them. Restart the game. Do it again. Restart the game. Do it again. We can do that in like 30 minutes. Whereas I've seen some multiplayer guys take hours and hours. We need a certain challenge to these contracts, I think, for the hardcore players, which will allow us to earn maybe let's say one contract, which is really difficult for the hardcore players, which offers 5 reserve cases. Now that might sound like a lot, but these players will probably not play multiplayer, blackout or league play often, so it's really a credit to them to be able to get the reserve cases, which they're missing out on the other 3 modes. Because you've got to remember the multiplayer guys are playing Blackout most likely. And then a few of them will also play League play. So they are missing out on a few reserve cases, the Zombies only players. And there's a lot more Zombies only players than there's multiplayer only players and Blackout only players. At least a higher percentage. Now let's go into the game modes. So the Gauntlets are good. And I know that might sound surprising. It's good in my books, it's a fun experience, and it has a brilliant journey and a unique journey from round 1 to round 30. It's just something there to make the gap between the next DLC map and the current latest map feel not as long and tedious. But the problem with these gauntlets is it feels like a one and done, essentially. You play them to experience that journey, and the payoff is just a sticker. So you're only going to play these maybe once or twice. If you don't get the sticker, then, oh well, I didn't get the sticker. An additional reward for it would probably make a bit more replayability, and I was thinking, what would actually be the perfect reward in a business sense for Treyarch, for Activision, and for the player base? And I'm thinking something like the camos in the map, the Pack-a-Punch camos. They're technically free camos. We can get them camos on any gun just by Pack-a-Punching. So why not have that as an additional reward? So if I can beat, let's say, the 9 gauntlet, I get one of the 9 Pack-a-Punch camos, or maybe a reactive camo which goes through all of them. And from there, I could take it into the other modes. Go, hey guys, I beat the 9 Gauntlet flawlessly. Whereas, because I see people all the time playing multiplayer and Blackout with these Gauntlet gold medal cards and the stickers, which the gold medal card, I noticed straight away the stickers are dirt, because the stickers, I don't really care. I don't think anyone looks over people's stickers that often. But the coin cards is a big thing, that pops up when you die. Whereas, I feel like if in kill cam you see that, people go, oh, that guy beat the Gauntlet flawlessly. And it'll be something that actually adds that bragging right, I think. I don't know how you feel, but that's just how I feel. Let's go into hard mode Gauntlets, the thing I did the 10-minute video about. I have been trying my hardest to make this not sound runway, but I've just not been able to. I feel, and I still feel, and I've had an outlook vision on it. Had people even talk who saying, nah, it's not as bad as you think, and I'm like, I just, the problem is that it just adds a small inconvenience to the challenge. It's not hard. I've done them. I've done these challenges. It's not harder. You just gotta think about them a bit more, which isn't hard. I can think. I'm a person. I've got a brain. Overall, the exact journey, and we've only got one hard gauntlet so far. I'll make that clear. We've only had unsinkable hard, so this might change hopefully. But the journey in unsinkable and unsinkable hard feels the exact same. Just the only difference is that that additional challenge makes it take a bit longer time. So when the reward is the same, I can get that. But with just a purple outline and sticker, just why would I replay that? I've already experienced unsinkable, the actual normal thing, maybe twice. Why would I just want to go through it again, but with a slightly longer feel to it? Anyway, if you want more, again, at the start of the video, I said click the eye in the top right. I've got a full 10 minutes on the hard mode gauntlets and how I felt straight away. I will say this now though, I feel a bit harsh from that rant. There's some things which I wish I didn't say, but I didn't remove the video because I feel like it's good to always keep your first thoughts on something, just so you can see your initial reactions to things, which is why I've kept it up. Anyways, let's move to the next game mode, Rush. Now, Rush, I'm very indifferent about. It's a good side mode, but I feel like it blocks off casual players from playing the mode. Because of 150 health, casual players aren't used to that. They're used to the standard 200 health. And, well, let's agree that Rush is kind of an esports mode, but it fails to deliver to that promise. Games can last forever, even after a clear winner is found. And what I mean by that is that I could be first with everyone else dead, and the game still continues. Which, in an esports mode, it normally goes, oh, you won, congrats, GG. Imagine grief if you beat the other team, but you can still play the additional rounds. That's just kind of like, I've won, but you're dead, and you're going to be dead for the next 20 rounds, because I'm going to still be good at this game. You know, no, that wouldn't work. Do you see what I mean? It needs a time / a point cap to it. And again, it should end if someone's got a clear first place that can't be untouched. I feel like Rush was one of those modes which, hey, let's have this esports mode, but not actually think about it full in depth in the esports. It's like a tingle into the esports mode, if you get what I mean. Just a tingle. It's not full on esports mode. And I feel like you need someone who has got some idea of what Zombies esports is about. It may be a few record players, few people who've organised events for it, things like that, to make Rush into its full potential. Because I still think there's potential in Rush. And I just hope they try and grasp it, instead of just letting it be how it is. And of course, I assume that the new maps will still get Rush mode, and the new maps will still get these gauntlets and things like that. I just need them to grasp them a bit more, go, hey, we're going to actually go on into this, if you get what I mean. And anyways, guys, the last 2 points I want to get into are to do with camos. The first thing is the camo grind. So the camo grind is actually new to zombies. We've never had a camo grind in any other zombies game. We have had an earnable camo in zombies before, in IW and also World War II. But we've never been able to grind challenges for them. And it's been drastically improved since, I believe, Operation Grand Heist, where they reduced box kills for all the box weapons by 50%. I've been playing with the new DLC weapons, seeing how much it's changed, and it makes it feel a lot better. Like, I'm killing these and I'm earning camos more frequently. I'm earning them faster. I will say this, before, the camo grind would take you to Prestige 2 max level just as you're about to complete all the camos. Whereas now, you are only in Prestige 1 and halfway through usually, when you're getting all the camos, of course about halfway through. Which, I can see why the original camos were like how they were, so that you can fully level out your weapon, have all the camos if you went for them, and that's pretty nice. But, other than that, the new camo system is really good. If you're someone who was put off by the dark matter grind before, I'd say try that new update if you haven't yet, and you'll be full on surprised about how much better it feels. And that's just a great job on Treyarch's end. And kudos to whoever thought about the 50% thing, because hell, even I didn't think about the 50% thing. I was talking about changing some of the challenges completely, but 50%, perfect. Well done, Treyarch. Now, the last thing I'm going to get on is more of a Black Ops 4 thing in general, but I feel like it hits home more in zombies, and we're talking about mastercrafts and reactive camos. Now, you might be confused by what I'm trying to say with this, and I completely understand, because these blog posts weren't made clear in the public. But it has been talked about before on YouTube channels, so you might be able to find it somewhere on there. Now at launch, or even before launch, we were told that there will be rewards for achievement, such as these reactive and mastercrafts and signature weapons. So far we've seen some in tiers, in the operations, and reserves. They're the only earnable reactive / mastercrafts, theoretically. The rest are just in the black market, which pretty much tells you that they're no longer going for this earnable reward for an achievement. So, I want to say this, track, zombies is the perfect way to at least test out this system if you ever want to go back to that earnable achievement system. Now here's what I'm suggesting. Use these zombies only weapons to test out earnable rewards. For example, the trebuchet being in the shop makes no sense, because half the players are not going to buy it because they don't play zombies. Therefore, maybe you should make it earnable in zombies. So let's say I can earn a trebuchet mastercraft if I get the gold medal in all gauntlets. You see what I mean? Like, earnable achievement, trebuchet mastercraft, getting gold medals in all gauntlets. Now, that might push some multiplayer people to try it out, just to try and get this trebuchet mastercraft, see what it looks like, things like that. But you gotta remember, trebuchet is not in any other mode, so it should not be in that shop at all. It should be exclusive to zombies, earnable in zombies, and I want you to test that system out, see what the effect is overall. Of course, it'll be minimal to if you did it in multiplayer and blackout, but that's like testing the waters with that earnable achievement to your profits. And then maybe with a standard weapon, just a weapon which doesn't have a mastercraft yet, maybe a mastercraft for the locus, where if you do something with sniper rifles, you earn that mastercraft. And then again, test that out. You know, maybe that'll allow players to earn the locus. Like, players can earn the locus mastercraft, even if they don't have the standard locus. And then test that out, see how that feels. Of course, that'll unlock in blackout and zombies as well. And I just want you to test that achievement grinding a bit more. And I hope you do, because there's not a lot to grind for in Zombies or even Black Ops 4 in a home. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this game features video. Like I said, if I talked about everything, it'll be 2 hours long. This video was approximately about 25 minutes long, just talking about the game features. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the game features review for Black Ops 4 Zombies. I've been Noobey, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.